It's Heather. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this short video because I was watching this other video and it makes me think about myself. And in that, I'm even like, damn, sorry, it's Stevie's box. But, anyways. And maybe that's a narcissistic trait in me, is every time I hear something, but then again, I don't know, because I'm alone, and so I watch something to learn from it, so learning from what I'm watching while I'm alone, I don't think that would necessarily be narcissistic. I don't fucking know. But anyways, that's what I'm shooting this video for. I'm going to try to make it short, even though I ramble on and everything. But basically, in this video, I'm just going to ask people flat out, do you think I'm narcissistic? Do you think I'm a narcissist? Because if you've stuck with me, if you've watched enough of my videos, or maybe even if you watch this one and you're just somebody that's just going to jump the gun on this video and be like, yeah, I think you are because of this video, then state that in the comments below. But that's my question to you. Am I a narcissist? And then this is another thing going on that I'm going to add in this. I have a friend right now that has a crush on me, that acts like they don't have a crush on me, that can't admit to it, that, and this is narcissistic, maybe me even putting this information out here, but this has been driving me batty for the past few days, even worse so, but it used to drive me batty for the past few weeks, and then it's drove me batty for the past few months. So it's something that's been ongoing, that has just built up and built up and built up. But they have a crush on me. They act like they don't. That's fine. Whatever. They can't admit to it. Whatever. They are very abrasive in the type of person that they are and in wanting to get their way. And in that, I see, hints of narcissism, and I'm trying to, because I really value this person, the good in them, what you're supposed to do with everybody. I say even like my family, that's the reason I'm not giving up on my family, even though there's been so much trauma and abuse and stuff. And that's the reason, even though, like, now, because my parents took my kid, I'm just like, I ain't talking to y'all, because y'all pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until you pushed me to my goddamn breaking point. You abused the hell out of me. You were mean as fuck to me. Yeah, you helped me for as far as driving me to work and, doing these physical, checklist parenting things that people can see and society can see. But for as far as the way that you treated me behind closed doors, it wasn't good. It was never good. It was mainly shitty, like 80% of the time. And now you took my fucking kid from me, so now I don't want to ever talk to you again until I get my damn kid back. And then even at that, it's going to be minimal because you really fucked up. There has to be punishments, is the best way to word it. There has to be a structure. There has to be a, you know what, don't do this. And that is what I'm dealing with and battling with anybody and everybody to a fucking degree. That's even like the girl that I fell in love with. It's like, okay, she shut me out completely, but then again, she didn't, because she keeps creeping. She keeps creeping back into my damn life, and I'm like, okay, are you a narcissist because you slammed the door on me for this? But you're still creeping, and so I love you, and I do, and I want to talk to you, and I want to be friends with you, and if we can be in a relationship, then great, because that's what I want, but if we can't, then fine, and now you got me so tore up and everything. But anyways, like I said, I'm going to try to make this short video. So the question is, am I a narcissist? But this is also another thing that I'm going through. So this person that has a crush on me, that I've told people, hey, this person has a crush on me. Well, because I told people that, now this person's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, oh, you're funny. They share drinks with me every time I'm with them. Every time I'm with them. I do not like it. I do not approve of it. I do not think you should share drinks with people. I've had mono. I had a STD that killed a baby, a parasitic infection that killed my second child. I'm a germaphobe to some extent, and I don't believe in sharing drinks. I barely share drinks with my own daughter whenever my daughter was home, but then again, it was my daughter, it was my child, but I don't believe in doing that. This person does. This person is an atheist. I believe in God, and just watching this person and the way that they do things, I wish to God that I would feel, and then me and the trauma that I've been through, I wish to God I could go up to them and be like, hey, stop drinking from my drink, please. I can't stand it, or don't do this, and even that on, it is when as far as food, um, they've done that with food, sharing food, but not so much as the drinks. And there's more, contamination, if you will, for as far as drinks than there is food, more than likely, mostly, because say it's just French fries, you're reaching in for a fry, whatever, that's fine, you know. Now, if there's ketchup involved and you're both dipping out of the same ketchup or whatever, then that's transfer, and all that. And that's the thing, too, is this is not somebody that is uneducated in this. This is somebody that works in a food industry, and they know cross-contamination, if you will, if you want to use that big word for that and everything. And I have a feeling that the reason that they're doing it is because in the back of their mind, this is a narcissistic type tendency of trying to push me over to be with them. Oh, well, if we're sharing drinks, then that means, and that's giving them like a high, of like, hoo, they're willing to share my drink. They're willing to swap spit with me for as far as a drink. That's what I feel like's going on. I don't know if that's what's going on. I feel bad even putting in a damn video because they're going to know who the hell they are if they watch this damn video, and so are a bunch of other people just from watching this damn video, but it's getting on my fucking nerves so goddamn bad. I'm sitting here and I'm all cruddy now, and the thing is the last time I seen them, like, they were supposedly sick and everything, then they tell me that they have this infection, and they're like, oh, I have this infection, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, do you have it? And I'm like, not that I know of, and then they're sitting here, and I have an open wound basically in the back of my mouth from where my wisdom tooth's fucked up, and like just all that transference and everything. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, do I have an infection just because I don't have the fucking nerve to be like mad when they take my drink? And that's the thing too, is this is not somebody that's like, well, just guard your drink around them, and everything, because we'll get in the car or whatever and I'll buy a drink, we'll eat out or whatever. They won't buy a drink. Next thing I know, they've picked up my drink and done took a sip of it. And concluding, I'm not somebody that drives, I'm not somebody that can get out on my own and all this. I feel trapped in having to let them use my fucking drink. And I want to so bad. If we lived in a perfect world, I would be like, hey, don't do that. Or actually, if we lived in a perfect world, they would have known that I don't like that, because of the story of the parasitic STD that killed my baby, and the fact that I've had mono, and the fact that I've had strep and mono together, and the fact that strep about killed me when I was 3 years old, or it did kill me when I was 3 years old. I ran a febrile seizure from it. My body cannot fight off strep, and they would care. They would care. But then again, they don't care enough to pay attention to those stories, because when I've told those stories, they're so narcissistically caught up in themselves, which everybody is to a degree. There's, times that you don't hear what people say and all this. But for as far as the drink thing, I've sat there and I've made, subtle hints. I've made the faces, I've, put different straws, or I'd pour some of my drink into a different cup and be like, here. And then they would still, if their cup, if they left it on a different table and they come over to sit next to me and my cup's on this table, they would still pick up my cup and drink from it. And like I said, I think it's like an internal thing dealing with them being like, woohoo, and I think it's, like, woohoo, I like you, I'm crushing on you, and hey, you're sharing a drink with me, so that makes me feel good. And it's like, no, I'm not choosing to share a drink with you. You're pushing yourself upon me to share a drink with you. I don't like sharing drinks with anybody. I didn't even like sharing drinks with my damn husband. I'm doing this because I feel like I'm being a pushover, and I don't know how else to fucking handle it. And I'm like, I want to be able to say it directly to the person, but whenever I've even come close and been like, why didn't you get you a drink? The look on their face is like one of like a narcissist, and I've dealt with plenty of narcissists in my family and stuff, but it's this look of, don't question me, like, are you really asking me that? Like, you have no right to ask me something like that. And it's like, fuck yes I do. And it's to the point that I'm like, so irritated and everything, and I'm sitting here and I'm all congested now, and they were. And yes, I have allergies typically, but not this congested that I am right now. And I'm just like, damn it, And I'm just like, what the fuck, And I'm like, I'm killing myself basically, because this person, for starters, has an infection that I may not have, and I probably don't. And and all that, and then my own internal is like screaming on the inside every time they take a drink. And the thing is I feel like they know it, because that's what narcissists do. They get to know that about you. It's like a wound, and they want to keep picking at it and picking at it and picking at it and irritating you. And they want to put you in these awkward situations. And that's another thing too, is they keep putting me in awkward situations, because I'm like, hey, I've even been in places with them, and I know that they do this, and I'm like, hey, you want me to get a drink for you whenever I buy my drink? Kind of like, I'm laying the law to my drink. This is my drink. And I'll say, you want me to buy a drink for you? And they're like, no. Like, that's how bad it's become. I shouldn't even be willing to do that, because they go in, they buy their food, they don't buy a drink. I go in, I buy my food, I buy a drink. Then we're sitting there and they drink from my drink. And I'm like, okay, and they're like, what, And so I even tried to do it back to them, to be like, doesn't that irk your nerves? And I could tell that it did, but at the same time, not as much as it does me. They know it irritates me, and that's what narcissists do. And then it's like, okay, well, that's a bad relationship. Just throw that relationship to the wind and everything. But it's not a bad relationship. It's not a horrible relationship. I still see good. I still see it as salvageable, you know? But then that's me and the type of person I am with anybody. I see relationships as salvageable, great things, but there's certain times that just shit just fucking falls apart, And when people do shit like this, it makes me question, okay, should I just throw it away? Should I just throw the relationship completely and totally away and just be like, fuck it, I'm done, it's over, just because you're doing something that you obviously know is upsetting me without me even having to say it. And if somebody watches this and they're like, well, what did you do, and stuff, like I said, we'll go in and I'll be like, you want me to get a drink for you? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. And then we're sitting there literally 5 minutes after I asked that question, maybe 7 minutes tops. And they just reach over and pick up my drink and start drinking out of it like it's nothing. And this is a friend. So how do you address that? And I've done played it out in my mind. And like I said, I done know this friend enough. I done have enough preconceived notions about this friend that I done know how it's going to go. I don't know that they're going to defend it to the death, is the best way to word it. And that is where we're going to meet some friction. And then concluding that this person is atheist and I am not, and I believe in God, then it's going to go down that route. And I don't want it to. I just want it to be a basic, cut dry, hey, I don't like sharing drinks. I don't like sharing food. Please don't do it. If you value me as a friend, please don't do it. But I don't know that more than likely if I say that to this person, they're going to be like, God, she's rude. God, she's a bitch. And they're going to go and call all their friends behind my back and be like, can you believe that they said this? Can you believe that they said that? And then from that standpoint there, then it comes to consider that maybe that I should throw them away and be like, okay, I can't be friends with you no more. But in all honesty, this is kind of the only friend to a degree that I have right now. So what the fuck am I supposed to do with it? And then supposedly you're supposed to be this forgiving, nonchalant, da-da-da-da-da person, so that way you get along with people and all this, and, I fucking don't know what the hell to do. I really don't. I wish I could just look at this person, because I've gave every subtle hint, being like, you want something to drink? And even after they've took a sip of my drink, I'm like, well, I can buy you something to drink, and they're like, no, I'm fine. And then, like, if I've bought drinks before and we sit down in the car, like we're getting in, after buying food or whatever, and I sit down in the fucking car, and they'll reach over and they'll take, their medicine or something. They'll be like, oh, I need something to drink, Can I have a sip of your drink? I'm not a rude person that I'm going to be like, no, swallow your fucking pill and die on it, and that's even like me realizing that that is a narcissistic thing to do, because you're not giving the proper options, which is because, okay, if it were me and say I legitimately, and it wasn't some setup like it is being, I legitimately got in a car and, after buying food, and realized, oh, I need a sip of drink to take my pill. Yes, I would look at my friend and I would be like, do you mind if I take a sip to take my medicine? And my friend might be like, yeah, that's fine. But if my friend hesitates, and I know people well enough to pick up on certain subtle hints, and maybe this person doesn't, maybe they've been so wrapped up in, you know, everything is concrete that they don't pick up on subtle hints, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know how much more of a subtle hint I can give other than being like, oh, you took a sip of my drink. What do you want me to buy you a drink? I'll buy you a drink if you don't have the money. And then be like, no, I'm fine. I just needed a sip. And this is like, I've done this like 5 damn times with them, or at least 3. Been like, oh, you took a sip of my drink. You want me to buy you a drink? I don't mind buying you a drink. And they're like, no, I'm fine. Like, they're not stepping outside of their little box that they live in, whatever the box is. And so maybe they're not narcissistic about it, but maybe it's just a box and a thought process that they live in. But I know if I put my box next to their box and I go, okay, I don't like sharing drinks, please don't do this. If I say it kindly and I say, please, I don't like sharing drinks, please don't do this. I know that there's going to be backlash. I just can feel it. I can sense it. My internal intuition, everything about me is like, they're going to get mad. They're going to get enraged. They're going to get mad that you're even making this video. They're going to get mad this. They're going to get mad. They're going to act like now, because you made a video, if they watch the video, they're going to act like you should have come to them first. You should have talked to them first. I've played all the narcissistic games. So this narcissistic behavior is nothing new to me. And so it's just like, as an INFP, I guess, and this, lack of confidence and all this is what gets me into trouble. This is what, is this kind, nature in me. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, please don't tell me that I got some infection from them, because that's how paranoid I am in my own mind. I got some infection from them just because I wasn't willing to stand my ground and be like, no, that's my damn drink. Don't drink from my damn drink. I don't like that, And thing is people sit there from the outside and they hear this and they're like, well, it wasn't that simple. All you had to do was tell them it was that simple. It was that simple. It's not when it's a mind game and it's a narcissist. And so it's like, who's the narcissist? Am I the narcissist, or are they the narcissist? Am I the narcissist because I sat there and I've tried to be subtle and give subtle hints and all this and everything, and then I'm thinking that they lack the knowledge to take the sentence, if I say it out of my mouth, hey, I don't like sharing drinks, and then apply it, and respect it as, oh, okay, that's who you are. Because that's what you do if you're a good person. I'm sorry. You listen to people's little fucking box shit that they say, and you apply it to your everyday interactions with them. Okay? That's just like my grandmother with my fucking cat when I moved in. Oh, I don't want him outside. Please put him in the house. So I put him in the bedroom. I didn't want to. I was mad about it. It went against what the fuck I was wanting to do, but I did what she wanted me to do. It's just this control thing. I'm so sick and tired of people wanting to control me. And then it's like, am I the narcissist and all this and everything? But I'm sitting here right now and I'm kind of freaking out on the inside. And I'm like, God, please say I don't have this infection just from sharing drinks with this damn person that I don't want to share drinks with. God, please protect me at least from that. Because I swear to God, if I go to the doctor, and I ain't been to the doctor in a long time, I'll admit that I haven't. But when I went to the doctor, I was good. Everything was good. I was good. I wasn't sick, nothing. If I go to the doctor again now and they're like, hey, you have this infection, I'm going to flip my shit on myself. Where instead I should be angry with them and be like, I don't like sharing drinks. You kept pushing to share drinks. You have this infection. You gave me the, like, I'm going to flip the fuck out, you know? But instead, because of the narcissist and the scaredness that I have, yes, I'm scared. Call me a pussyfoot. Call me whatever you want to. I don't give a shit. But because of that, and I'm coming up on 20 minutes, so I'm fixing to end this video here. But I sit here and it's going to internalize and it's going to flip on me and it's going to be like, you're such a piece of shit, Heather. You shouldn't have fucking done that. You shouldn't have fucking put up with that shit. Oh my God, you're such a pansy. You're such a piece of shit. And I'm going to beat myself up. And then that makes me even more mad at this person because I'm like, damn, you know, and like, I want to be like, damn, bitch, you know, like, damn, do you realize I done do this enough with my own fucking family? I don't need you putting me in a fucking situation like that. And then that is where I become narcissistic, because anytime you have confidence in yourself and you try to come up, if you're somebody that hasn't had that, everybody wants to point the finger at you and be like, you're a narcissist. And that's just like what my parents have done to me. Supposedly, I'm the narcissist because I was living in my own apartment and I wanted to get a license and a fucking car. I'm so narcissistic. I'm such a piece of shit for that. And that's the way that my family, like, played against me. And that's the way that they're playing against me even now. Since they took my kid and everything. It's like, oh, look at that narcissist. Oh my God, she's so selfish that she got so devastated because we took her kid. And she made it so much about her instead of about her kid. And now she moved in with her grandmother, you know, and my mother. And she's so narcissistic. And it's just a constant battle of this fucking head game of pointing fingers. And that's the reason yes, it's a lot easier to just sit here and just kind of be the victim of it. Not because you want to. I don't want to be a victim. But God damn it, I don't want to sit here and exhaust my energy. And this is narcissistic. I'll admit to this. I don't want to exhaust my life's energy force, if you will, to sit there and just keep pointing fingers at somebody else for the rest of my damn life. Even though it may seem like it, if you listen to my videos and I bitch about everybody the way that I do, but I don't want to sit there and do that 24/7 and be like, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, your fault, your fault, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't want to I have bigger things to do than to sit there and do that with my life. And apparently these people don't. And like I said, I can feel and sense that if I say directly to this person, don't drink from my drink, I don't like it, it's going to become a debate. It's going to become a why. And then they're not going to respect my why. And there's a lot of people that don't have that in them to respect people's why. So I have to walk around respecting people's why all the fucking time. And her why, for why she is sharing my drink, and I've watched her, she don't do it with her other friends, is because she's getting a little pat on her back in her mindset because she has a crush on me and she's wanting me to date her. And so she's sitting there and she's going, hey, at least she's swapping spit with me, so that means she likes me enough to maybe kiss me one day, to maybe date me one day. I know that's what she's doing. And if I'm wrong in that, and maybe it's not fully that for as far as the dating thing, then it's that I feel that comfortable with her. And the thing is I don't feel that comfortable with anybody except for maybe who I'm married to and maybe my children. But I'm going to end this video here, so drop comments below, please, you know, and from this, you know, if you have non-ignorant, you know, I don't know how else to say it, I don't know how more kindly to say it, but if you have a way to supposedly maybe address not just this issue with the drink thing, but how I can get out of this cage of this situation that I'm in, and don't just write something blatantly like be more confident, be more who you are. Because every time I do, there's always such backlash. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, God, is it really my purpose to be a doormat? But anyways, and maybe it is, I don't know, and I hate to fucking say that. But I have tried at pushing at every limitation of everything to break free of this shit. And for some reason, it just ain't happening. And sometimes I feel like this girl that I fell in love with is holding a key and holding me hostage to a degree, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, and then it's like, okay, I fucked that up because I, crushed on her and she didn't want me to. And then I'm like, okay, I fucked it up. Okay, I apologize because that's what you do when you fuck shit up. You apologize. People are supposed to forgive you. Nobody ever forgives me. I forgive no, like whew, holy Jesus. I don't know, but I'm gonna end it here. So write comments below, but one comment, yes or no if you think that I'm a narcissist. Like, if you think I have narcissistic personality disorder. Not that I'm acting narcissistic, because everybody acts narcissistic at certain points in time. But if you think that I have narcissistic personality disorder, please write it in the comments, and let's talk about it. And I want to hear your perspective on it. But other than that, I'm going to let you go, and if you have comments on how to handle the other shit, and it's not just a drinking thing. This is an everyday thing with everybody that I know that I come into contact with, except for the people that I always end up kind of falling in love with. They're nice to me, they're kind to me. And then supposedly that's a narcissist's way of roping in people like me. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell to do. But I'm going to end it here, and I'll catch you later. Take care. Bye.